the MFS Wellness Podcast, a hybrid structure encompassing health, fitness, self-improvement, and entertainment, where no topic is off limits and all opinions are graciously welcomed.
Let's get on with the show!
And now, here's the host of the show, Mike Sinopoli.
Welcome to the MFS Wellness Podcast. I am Mike Sinopoli, certified nutrition coach, consultant, counselor. Call me whatever you would like. On this episode, I am discussing body acceptance. It's a term used probably differently for everybody. Everyone has their own definition of it or idea of it, and that's totally fine. I'm just going to kind of give you my idea of what I believe true body acceptance is. I believe it's four different aspects of life kind of coming together to this one awakening of living the right way and living the way for you. It's accepting your physical body and what you see in the mirror. It's looking at yourself and genuinely saying, this is fine. This is good. This is where I want to be. I will maintain this and I'm happy. It's also accepting internal health, which is health risks. You might have some habits that you don't want to give up because you enjoy them and they're part of your life. And the desire just isn't there. The risks, what it can bring. It may or may never happen. This could be something like eating higher processed foods, lots of sugar, things that are pretty unideal for our health, but we just kind of go ahead with it anyways because it's there and we love it. So that has to be accepted, and the risks as well. So that could be anything from heart disease, cancers, type 2 diabetes, and depressing things as such. Lifestyle needs to be intact. You don't want to feel like you're depriving yourself of too many things that are happening around you that you want to attend, different events. You're not holding yourself back. There's no fear when you have to go to an event with your friends or family, and you're not worried about your diet at that point. And you just can go and live, and you're happy and you're genuine with that. And then, of course, your habits kind of play into that as well. So just kind of taking away things that were working against you, accepting those as no longer part of you, and taking on new habits that are good for you that you can accept. So all of that together kind of brings body acceptance to this point. And if there was a finish line to this health and fitness thing, this would be it. It would be body acceptance. That would be the end game for this, where you've found a way to live, to eat well, eat right, low deprivation, and genuinely okay with how you look and feel and doing everything. Like a lot of folks will say, hey, why is it so hard to lose the last 5 to 10 pounds? It's just this last 5 to 10 pounds. Why can't I take this off? Why can't this come off? The answer to that is because what will need to happen for you to lose those 5 to 10 pounds will be a change in your habits and lifestyle. And you may not want to do that. It may be extreme, a little more aggressive. There may be some deprivation involved. It may be miserable. You may be unhappy trying to lose the last 5 to 10 pounds. So that is where you want to self-assess and say, okay, do I really care to lose this 5 to 10 pounds? What's going to make me happier? Losing 5 to 10 pounds of body fat, or keeping on 5 to 10 extra pounds, accepting it, and continuing on to do what I love to do, which might be, grabbing a burger once in a while, having some drinks with friends once in a while, things that you might have to actually cut out in order to lose those 5 to 10 pounds. And you might be able to do it for a little while, and that can work for you, and you can get those 5 to 10 pounds off. But then from there, maintenance has to happen at that level when you lost the 5 to 10 pounds. And a lot of times, if you don't want to sustain the habits that were needed to lose that, and you go back to the old habits, you're going to just regain the 5 to 10 pounds because there's no end game to fat loss. It's just a constant, it's like you're swimming in it. You don't want to drown. You're just trying to stay above water your whole life. And that's the way it's going to be, is your health is constantly something you're going to be treading water with. There's no end. But body acceptance would be the closest thing to where you've accepted everything, your risks, your body in the mirror, your habits, and all that, and you really create this genuine lifestyle for yourself. It's just a actually euphoric thing that you can just not care anymore. In a sense, you can care, but you're on autopilot. You don't have to. It comes natural to you. Different things. You're still going to parties. You don't have that. I've got to bring my Tupperware of food. No, I never believe that anyone that's just trying to lose some weight look good, feel good, do it for their lifestyle. I don't believe you should ever be Tupperwaring things to events. Work is a different story because that's a day in, day out type of thing, and you need that consistency. But, unless you're a bodybuilder and you're going to go on stage and flex your muscles in some lighting with a deep, dark blackout tan, if that's your goal, that's fine. That's great. But that's the only type of people, I believe, unless somebody with some pretty harsh dietary restrictions they need for their own livelihood and well-being to keep them alive. Other than that, those are the only people I think should be bringing food to events with them and, eating them separately from everyone else. That's the only time. So you can take that out of what you're doing. If you're doing that right now, I would eliminate that right away. This body acceptance is not the same at all as the body positive, healthy at any size movement that I've talked about before. That's a relatively misery loves company, toxic type of movement that is more about inclusion and keeping men and women, both men and women. It's mostly targeted to women, but keeping women, complacent in their body and creating this community of people who aren't going to do something better for themselves. They're not healthy. Morbid obesity is statistically linked to higher rates of chronic illnesses. This is not news. This is what we know and have known. And we are way too into people's feelings right now, which is okay. I'm not saying we need to shame anybody. I don't agree with that, or be rude or inconsiderate to people. But I do believe that it's the truth that if you're morbidly obese, you are not healthy at that size. Just because you can sustain life for several years at that size doesn't mean it's healthy. That stuff catches up to you. That stuff will seem fine for a while until it's not. And then that's where the regret comes in. And then it's almost too late at times. Because if they're amputating your leg from type 2 diabetes, you can't turn back. You can't detox yourself back to not having the amputation. It's harsh, but it's the truth. So that's what happens. And these women that want to promote this and turn around and also shame the fitness culture is toxic for everybody involved, I believe. That's where it really draws the line for me is when they start shaming the other side of things, people who want to do well for themselves. And what that does is it creates this inclusion bubble, and that it makes people want to feel like a part of something. People want to feel accepted. They want to feel like they're in a community. They want to feel like they're wanted and important. And if this being obese is the key to being accepted, that's very destructive, because now they feel as if they ever need to. The doctor's instructions are, look, you got to drop some fat here, or else you're looking at heart disease. You're looking at a shorter life. And if that doesn't jar you to break loose of this toxic body positive movement, then I really don't know what else to do. But just that's it. You just have to accept that then. And that's your body acceptance. But if you're miserable, that's not true body acceptance. I don't really know how many people are legitimately happy who promote this body positivity, this healthy at any size. I really can't believe that the vast majority are anywhere near truly happy with themselves. It's not really self-love either to treat your body like that. Remember, getting yourself in good shape, being mobile, being able to move, treating your body with some respect is self-love. So that's why it needs to come from a good place. If you hate yourself, you're probably not going to do much for it, your body. That's just the way it is, unfortunately. So with this body acceptance, not body positivity, but back to this, body acceptance, this is really something that you want to start thinking about where you want to be. This should be your goal for yourself. And really, you can't mimic anybody else's progress with this or routines or anything. It has to be about you, because you are leading your life completely. And one habit that works for one isn't going to work for another. That's why blanket diet plans and meal plans that are just kind of thrown out there, and they just don't work for people, because you can't fit everybody into one hole. Everyone's a different shape, different size. They're not going to fit through the same way. You might only get a small success rate that way. You know, a lot of these, and that's the best way to go, because, you know, you start going on different diets and diet hopping. Diet hopping is a term, I'm sure it exists. I feel like I made it up. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. But diet hopping is just what people do because they just get bored with things. Unfortunately, you know, fat loss is boring. It's very boring. And the marketing in the fitness culture, believe me, there are no saints either. The fitness culture, the people who are selling products and programs and things, I can shame or put down a little bit and give my disdain towards the body positive movement, but also those in the fitness space have their issues as well, who are pushing powders, pills, low-calorie diets under 1,200 calories, and other ways to promise rapid fat loss for the sake of profit. Your money is what they want, not your success. They want dependency as well. Because you know how many times I've heard someone say, well, I was on Weight Watchers and I lost X amount of pounds, or I was on Jenny Craig or whatever other fad diet, or Atkins or South Beach or whatever the newest thing is, keto, all of this junk. All of this is, I lost this amount. Well, great. Well, why didn't you stay on it? Because you didn't want to keep it forever, right? That's why you gained the weight back too, because you didn't learn anything but to restrict carbohydrates and whatever else it was entailed there. So that's where you want to be. If you don't think that you want to give up eating bread, pasta, pizza, donuts, other carbohydrates, don't go on a low carb diet. Don't. It's pointless. You won't learn anything. You will not. You'll lose fat, weight maybe, if you're not doing your macros correctly in strength training. You'll lose muscle and fat. And then from there, you don't learn it. You lose some weight. You get happy because the scale's moving, because you let that lead the way. And then you go from there, and it's just, you back up again. And you haven't accepted your body at anything. You haven't accepted your habits. You took on a diet. You're trying something, and it's probably not going to work because it's not made for you. It's made for everybody. And that maybe have a 3% success rate long term, in my opinion. So body acceptance, stare in the mirror, look at yourself, look at your habits, analyze it. It's a lot more difficult than I'm making it sound. I've done it. You know, I'll tell you my own self. You know, there's times I just don't want to eat certain food, and I want to just go out to eat with my family or somebody, and I'm going to eat a burger if I feel like it. You know, there's no like real thought to it. It's just like, you know, I have a taste for this, so I'm going to go for it. Obviously, you know, that's going to thwart any fat loss I'm going for if I am. But I've accepted it. I flat out know that I'm going to go out to eat, enjoy some food, and I just moderate it. I just keep it infrequent. I don't need to go out. I don't need every meal to be a celebration for my taste buds. You have a whole body. If you're just catering to your taste buds, you're neglecting the rest of your being. There's a lot to you. And your taste buds, if you're going to just massage them and soothe them, that is a problem. That is a problem in itself, because you'll only be looking to eat for one reason, and that's to pleasure yourself for taste. And that's honestly not how it's supposed to be anymore. And it really never was. I mean, a lot of ancestors, they ate for survival. They didn't eat for pleasure. We are so fortunate that we have to diet. You have to also go in that mentality, like the fact that you need to go on a diet, that you need to watch your food, you need to track your food, you need to watch the intake and moderate things, is a fucking blessing. It's a blessing, the fact that we have such an abundance of food, such just like created shit that's a shelf life of forever. You just go to the grocery store and it's got whatever you need. Even though there's food shortages that everyone's whining and complaining about, I don't know what to tell you right now here. They're not that short on food. Certain items might not be there in time, but that's just a convenience we were used to. And we're just spoiled. And because they just didn't have the shape of pasta you wanted this time at the grocery store. You're pissed off, and now, oh, fuck the government because they didn't have my pasta. It's not, we are so lucky and privileged to be dieting, to have to diet. To be told that you need to lose body fat is a fucking privilege. And that's because you have enough food, you have an abundance of food, and you have been probably just pleasing yourself orally. I know that sounds sexual, but meaning food and drinks for quite some time. So, you know, like, it's okay. I'm not saying you're a bad person to enjoy food. I do that as well. but you can kind of thread the needle a little bit and find something that's working for you both ways. It can happen. That's what I do with my clients too. I don't want them to eat one fucking meal that they don't like. If I can do that, I want them to balance this out with flavor, with protein, with nutrition, with more whole foods, less processed foods, so that they're preserving their muscle mass, losing body fat, not losing their minds, able to transition a meal plan into a lifestyle, and sort of just learn from there and develop their own body acceptance. So for those of you out there who want to lose 5 to 10 pounds right now, honestly, take a self-assessment. Think of what the habits are that are keeping that weight on you. Then see if you need those habits. Do you truly enjoy this? Is Margarita Monday with the girls, is that like really something that's necessary? Because that's probably a shit ton of calories you're putting in on Mondays. It might be. You might say, no, I love it. It's a bonding way for my friends. Great. You can continue to do that and accept your body for what it's worth for putting tequila and triple sec and lime juice in your body every week. Or you can not go any longer and stop. Or you can go and change the drink. You can still see your friends. You don't have to have a margarita. You can do something even with alcohol in it that's less calories. It's working for you a little bit. That's a change that can take off maybe 2 of those 10 pounds you want to drop. Now you only have 8. You find another habit, make a change there. And all of a sudden, you're down 10 pounds and you didn't really sacrifice that much. And then you kind of have, okay, well, instead of this margarita, I'm just drinking a tequila on the rocks with a couple of ice cubes in it. Yeah, obviously that is on the rocks, but whatever. You know what I'm saying. I don't drink anymore. Give me some slack. So, and then you might end up sipping that more because it's a little harder to put down. And instead of all that sugar you take in and extra calories with the triple sec and the lime juice and whatever else it is with the margarita, now you just got this tequila here and you can sip that. Or, don't drink it all and just have a club soda with lime juice. I don't care. Find what works for you. That's what's more important and what's most enjoyable and what you can accept. And that's it. I know I sound preachy as shit, I believe. I don't know. When I listen back, I'll see, but I don't care. I'm just giving my opinion. And I've done this myself. I found myself in a rut. I looked in the mirror and I said to myself, this isn't working here. I believe I was in my early 20s and I had obviously taken to the bar scene. And with the bar scene comes along bar food, comes along drive-thrus, comes along lazy Sundays. And that was getting bad at one point. So I had to do something. So I started to work out more. I started to watch my food intake during the week. But I said, I still love going out and partying with my friends. I want to go out on Saturday. I love getting hammered. I did. And so I did that for a little while. And the good news was I started losing fat. I started feeling better. I've seen the pounds drop. My pants were fitting. But after a few months of that, it stalled. It plateaued. And then I still wasn't exactly thrilled with my appearance at the point, but I was happy I was dropping, but I was stuck. So that was where I had to kind of implement the body acceptance, lifestyle acceptance type mentality. What was important to me. And, I kept drinking. I'm not going to lie. I kept going. And I kind of bounced around a little bit back and forth. Sometimes I didn't, and then I would be fine. But anyways, I accepted it. I accepted it at one point. I said, I'm going to drink, so this is how I'm going to look. And that was it. Until I didn't want to accept it anymore. You might change. Just because you accept it, also remember, you can also unaccept it and change again later. That's the best part about the whole fitness nutrition thing. You can start something, and you could just change it. Like in a minute, in a snap of a finger, you can say, okay, well, I don't want to do a calorie deficit anymore. I want to do a surplus. All right, let's change it. Go ahead. You think you're ready for it? You feel lean enough? Do it. The same thing goes. Okay, maybe you accept yourself drinking 2 nights a week and eating whatever you want on Sundays. Maybe you accept your body for that. But maybe eventually, after a year of that, you stop accepting how you feel and look. And you want to change something. Then you drop a day off. Or maybe Sundays you don't lay around. Just ideas. This is how deep this stuff goes. It's not just follow this plan for 3 months and then you're going to be jacked, ripped, and beautiful. Whatever, So that's it. That's another level of layer here, a deeper one to think about. And it's what I want to try to get more involved in with my clients is this long-term thing. Like, what can you part with? What are you just doing because you've done it? What are you doing just because you're on autopilot and you're on a hamster wheel and you've just always done it, so you're just going to keep doing it? Maybe you find something else on the other end, on the other side of it, and you end up happier. Maybe you don't. And guess what? If you don't, just go back. Just go back to doing what you were doing then. Eat, drink more, drink less. You can change it at any point. That's the beauty of it. There's so much more flexibility to this than people understand. They feel like everything needs to be this rigid process of meticulous everything, and it really doesn't. And to be honest with you, that really doesn't work for anybody, because nobody wants to be in that state consistently for the rest of their life. But anyways, that's my idea of body acceptance. But I've kind of been back and forth here through this episode, and as I kind of wind it up here, love your body. That's okay. Even the body positive folks. Even though if you don't genuinely love how you look and feel, change it, please, because you're gonna be healthy and obese. But still, don't hate yourself. Don't be mad at yourself. Don't be disgusted in yourself, because that's not going to drive you the other way. That's not going to do it. Just love yourself. Say, you know what, I can do this. I'm better than this. This is a mentality that you got to take on. So have that, and just always have a good space and love yourself in the mirror, because that's the only way you're going to do it. That's it. Hating yourself, self-sabotaging, feeling low self-worth, and sadness over your feeling, looks, and appearance, it's going to lead to more just desperation and sadness for yourself. That's it. That's all I can say. So do your best. Just you're worth doing better and being here longer if you can. Nothing's guaranteed, but you want to feel like you did all you could, I believe, to stay here on this earth for as long as you can, for who loves you and who you love. So until we talk again, please send me any feedback or ideas or anything about the podcast. I love hearing it. On social media at MFS Wellness on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. You can email me, mike@mfswellness.com, and shoot over anything you'd like about body acceptance, about questions about fitness, nutrition, whatever I can do to help you. If I don't know answers, I'm more than happy to go figure it out for you and help out. I just am all in on this stuff. So I appreciate everybody who listens, and until I get back, we will see you on the next episode.